My name is Gregory Henriquez. I'm the managing partner of Henriquez Partners Architects, which was founded by my father in 1969. We've been in business almost 50 years and currently have around 70 staff working on some of the most complex mixed-use projects in North America. The initial concept for the Joyce Tower really came from a series of meetings with local community artists. They showed us these playing cards, which were a real attempt to document the history of the neighborhood and represent the diverse, multicultural nature of the community. Joyce is really one of the rare parts of Vancouver that includes almost every different immigrant group that's come to Canada. And so we wanted to find a metaphor for the design of the building which represented this diverse ethnicity, and the idea of the quilt came to mind. And so we developed a whole series of ways in which to quilt the fabric of the facade to represent this diversity. And we also wanted to be visible from the SkyTrain, because it's going to be really an icon for the Joyce community in terms of its visibility. The first tall tower on the north side of the station, really sort of a symbol for the future of Joyce, the Joyce community. And one of the playing cards that they had was really talking about how the Still Creek used to come through that very site, and there was actually a little river. And so the metaphor of the river became the idea for the facade of the building. And so if you look at the facade of the building, you'll see it looks like the tributary of a river flowing up the facade, and the balconies move and shift in order to capture views, but also to make each unit unique. And so we're very excited about that. And as the colors of the balcony guards were developed, they were developed with the idea of both, the cherry blossoms that bloom in the streets below, but also the metaphor of moving water. And so you'll see this beautiful sort of stained glass facade, but civic size. And so we're very excited about it. One of the other inspiring parts of the design was really trying to make it a three-dimensional object. So it's not just a flat facade, but actually the topography of the building actually is shaped three-dimensionally on all sides. So if you look carefully, on one side you have the negative of the river being pushed in, and on the other you actually have the positive, it emerges. And they actually turn the corner and become a three-dimensional topography. And so the design, while being inspired by a river, which is horizontal, actually takes on its own life as a three-dimensional object in the tower. Joyce is special for a number of reasons. It has a very high proportion of family housing. Most of our high-rise towers nowadays don't have as many family units as this one. It's unique. So you really have a vertical community being developed that's there for both children and young families. We developed an amenity package on the roof, which has both play structures but also study carrels, like a mini library, where kids can go upstairs and study and have a wonderful view of the mountains, but they also have little study carrels and little seating groups where they can do their homework. And so we really tried to make it about family, and that's a unique thing for any tower. Our collaboration with Westbank goes back almost 20 years, over 20 years actually. We started with Dockside down in Cole Harbour, then Woodwards, which is probably one of the most complex mixed-use projects in the history of Canada. And then did Telus Garden here, which our offices are in. We're lucky enough to have our offices in, which is the first LEED Platinum office building in downtown Vancouver, and includes a redevelopment of the entire block, including residences and a new facade and for the TELUS hub, as well as a very dynamic laneway, which has wonderful public art, as well as a series of restaurants and a wine bar and things like that will be opening up shortly. We also have other projects with Westbank, which includes work in Seattle and Toronto, and it's an ongoing relationship we're very proud of.